This weekend, over 4,000 non-believers will congregate in Melbourne for the second Australian Atheist Convention. And with a country led by a self-confessed atheist Prime Minister Julia Gillard, Australia is leading the way for so-called freethinkers.
There are millions of us on this planet who do live good, happy, moral, meaningful, productive lives without a religion.
For decades, the Western world has been shifting away from religion, and now the non-believers are demanding to be heard.
I don't despise religious people, I despise what they stand for.
Over the next 2 days, they'll descend on Melbourne for the biggest atheist event in Australian history. And they're not pulling any punches.
There are many problems associated with religion. It keeps women as second-grade citizens. It won't allow stem cell research. It is against science.
But organised religion isn't ready to give up yet.
I don't know if atheism is on the rise as such, but people talking about it are definitely on the rise. I live beside the cathedral. We can't move when there's a big service on, like Easter, Christmas. Certainly the immigrant communities have brought a lot of life to all the churches in Australia.
Since European settlement, Australia has been predominantly a country of Christians. In 1901, just 1% of the population professed to having non-Christian beliefs. Fast forward 100 years and it seems the number of godless Aussies is rising. From 2001 to 2006, atheism jumped by almost 30%, making it one of the fastest growing groups in Australia.
I was raised in a Christian family. We went to church. We went door to door preaching. I believed it, I felt it, I loved it. It was very real.
Dan Barker is a key speaker at the conference. A former evangelical pastor, now turned atheist, Dan preached for 19 years before losing his faith.
In my early 30s, I went through a process of realizing that what I was preaching is not true. The motivation that drove me into the pulpit is the same one that drove me out.
Everybody from the convention will be an emissary for reality. Atheism doesn't want any special privileges. All we're after is equality, whereas religion doesn't want equality, it wants special privileges.
And Aussie atheists say it's time churches started paying their way.
The tax-exempt portion of religion is something in the order of $30 billion per year in Australia. We are supporting an idea that has no evidence with the tune of $30 billion.
Everyone brings what they have, atheist, Catholic, Protestant, Jew, Muslim. You can't wash it out of the system. So I would say if I was a politician, what's good in what the different religions have? How can we work with that?
And with conference goers paying up to $440, there's big money in bagging big religion.
I actually think atheists are fantastic. They keep us on our toes. Everyone is talking about it. I taught one of my courses on it. The students are interested. So it's up to us to have the answers.
I think the only hope for the world is a totally secular government.
And we were talking about this before, because you're not an atheist, but you're agnostic.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't put a lot of thought into it, but that's probably the best description, yeah.
So the difference, though, between an atheist and an agnostic is...
Well, generally it's that atheists are convinced that there's no God, and agnostics just...
I think a lot of people that say they're atheists are probably just agnostic. I think they're kind of not sold either.
Yeah, but the interesting thing about, like, you know, that new hardcore atheism,
yeah.
I don't know of other people that are as fired up about getting
it's pretty
converts.
preachy, isn't it?
They gather together with a real religious fervour.
You grew up Catholic. Are you still Catholic?
I grew up Catholic. I go to church these days for weddings and funerals. So just sad occasions.
You still call yourself Catholic? Yeah.
Well, I guess I do, but I'm really agnostic. The reality is I'm probably agnostic.
We know what his family's making him do this Sunday.